Jai Hind everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel which is Explore Yourselves, Banking and General Knowledge etc. Jai Hind. Historical events of December 11. A journey through time of 11 December 2024 Wednesday. Today's that is 11 December highlight in history. 1602. A surprise attack by forces under the command of Charles Emmanuel I, Duke of Savoy, and his brother-in-law Philip III of Spain is repealed by the citizens of Geneva, commemorated annually by the Fête de Escalade. 1640. The root and branch petition signed by 15,000 Londoners calling for the abolition of the episcopacy is presented to the Long Parliament. 1675. Antonio de V expedition enters San Rafael Lake in western Patagonia. 1688. Glorious Revolution. James II of England, while trying to flee to France, throws the Great Seal of the Realm into the river Thames. 1792. French Revolution. King Louis XVI of France is put on trial for treason by the National Convention. 1815. The US Senate creates a Select Committee on Finance and the Uniform National Currency, predecessors of the United States Senate Committee on Finance. 1816. Indiana becomes the 19th US state. 1868. Paraguayan War. Brazilian troops defeat the Paraguayan army at the Battle of Avaí. 1899. Second Boer War. In the Battle of Megarsfontein, the Boers commanded by General Piet Cronje inflicted defeat on the forces of the British Empire commanded by Lord Methuen trying to relieve the siege of Kimberley. 1901. Guglielmo Marconi transmits the first transatlantic radio signal from Poldhu, Cornwall, England to St. John's, Newfoundland. 1905. A workers' uprising occurs in Kiev, Ukraine, then part of the Russian Empire, and establishes the Sulyavka Republic. 1907. The New Zealand Parliament buildings are almost completely destroyed by fire. 1913. More than 2 years after it was stolen from the Louvre, Leonardo da Vinci painting Mona Lisa is recovered in Florence, Italy. The thief Vincenzo Perugia is immediately arrested. 1917. World War I. British General Edmund Allenby enters Jerusalem on foot and declares martial law. 1920. Irish War of Independence. A retaliation for a recent IRA ambush, British forces burn and loot numerous buildings in Cork City. Many civilians report being beaten, shot at, robbed, and verbally abused by British forces. 1925. Roman Catholic papal encyclical Quas Primas introduces the feast of Christ the King. 1927. Guangzhou Uprising. Communist Red Guards launch an uprising in Guangzhou, China, taking over most of the city and announcing the formation of a Guangzhou Soviet. 1931. Statute of Westminster. 1931. The British Parliament establishes legislative equality between the UK and the dominions of the Commonwealth, Australia, Canada, Newfoundland, New Zealand, South Africa and Ireland. 1934. Bill Wilson, co-founder of Alcoholics Anonymous, takes his last drink and enters treatment for the final time. 1936. Abdication crisis. Edward VIII's abdication as King of the United Kingdom and the British dominions beyond the siege and Emperor of India becomes effective. 1937. Second Italo-Ethiopian War. Italy leaves the League of Nations. 1941. World War II. Germany and Italy declare war on the United States following the Americans' declaration of war on the Empire of Japan in the wake of the attack on Pearl Harbor. The United States in turn declares war on them. 1941. World War II. Poland declares war on the Empire of Japan. 1941. World War II. The Imperial Japanese Navy suffers its first loss of surface vessels during the Battle of Wake Island. 1946, the United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund (UNICEF) is established. 1948, Arab-Israeli War. The United Nations passes General Assembly Resolution 194 creating a conciliation commission to mediate the conflict. 1958, French Upper Volta and French Dahomey gain self-government from France, becoming the Republic of Upper Volta, now Burkina Faso, and the Republic of Dahomey, New Benin, respectively, and joining the French community. 1960, French forces cracked down in a violent clash with protesters in French Algeria during a visit by French President Charles de Gaulle. 1962, Arthur Lucas, convicted of murder, is the last person to be executed in Canada. 1964, Che Guevara speaks at the United Nations General Assembly in New York City. 1972, Apollo 17 becomes the sixth and final Apollo mission to land on the moon. 1978, the Lufthansa heist is committed by a group led by Lucchese family associated Jimmy Burke. It was the largest cash robbery ever committed on American soil at that time. 1980, the Comprehensive Environmental Response, Compensation and Liability Act Superfund is enacted by the US Congress. 1981, El Mojeto Massacre. Armed forces in El Salvador kill an estimated 900 civilians in an anti-guerrilla campaign during the Salvadoran Civil War. 1988, a Soviet Air Force Il-76 aircraft crashes while participating in the Armenian earthquake relief, killing 78 people. 1990, demonstrations by students and workers across Albania begin, which eventually triggered the fall of communism in Albania. 1990, several fatal collisions in the 1990 Interstate 75 fog disaster result in a total of 12 deaths and 42 being injured. 1993, a block of the Highland Towers condominium complex collapses following a landslide caused by heavy rain and water flowing from a construction site at Ampang district in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. 48 of its residents die, including one who died in hospital after being rescued alive, leaving only 2 survivors. 1994, First Chechen War. Russian President Boris Yeltsin orders Russian troops into Chechnya. 1994, a bomb explodes on Philippine Airlines Flight 434 en route from Manila, Philippines to Tokyo, Japan, killing one. The captain is able to land the plane safely. 1997, the Kyoto Protocol opens for signature. 1998, Thai Airways Flight 261 crashes near Surat Thani Airport, killing 101. The pilot flying the Airbus A310-200 is thought to have suffered spatial disorientation. 1999, Sata Air Across Flight 530 am crashes into Pico da Esperança on São Jorge Island in the Azores, killing 35. 2001, China joins the World Trade Organization (WTO). 2005, the Bouncefield oil depot catches fire in Hampstead, England. 2005, Cronulla riots. Thousands of white Australians demonstrate against ethnic violence, resulting in a riot against anyone thought to be Lebanese in Cronulla, New South Wales. These are followed up by retaliatory ethnic attacks on Cronulla. 2006, the International Conference to Review the Global Vision of the Holocaust is opened in Tehran, Iran by the then President Mohammad Ahmadinejad. Nations such as Israel and the United States expressed concern. 2006, Felipe Calderon, the President of Mexico, launches a military-led offensive to put down the drug cartel violence in the state of Michoacan. This effort is often regarded as the first event in the Mexican drug war. 2007, insurgency in the Maghreb. 2 car bombs explode in Algiers, Algeria, one near the Supreme Constitutional Court and the other near the offices of the United Nations. 2008, Barney Madoff is arrested and charged with securities fraud in a $50 billion Ponzi scheme. 2009, Finnish game developer Rovio Entertainment releases the hit mobile game Angry Birds internationally on iOS. 2012, at least 125 people are killed and up to 200 injured in bombings in the Awalite village of Akrab, Syria. 2017, New York City subway bombing. A pipe bomb partially detonates in the New York City subway in the Times Square, 42nd Street or Port Authority bus terminal. 4 people are injured, including the perpetrator. 2019, the results of the 2019 Bougainvillean independence referendum are announced. The results are overwhelmingly one-sided. Over 98% of voters vote for Bougainville's independence. 2020, the Food and Drug Administration issues an emergency use authorization on the Pfizer BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine, the first COVID-19 vaccine to be approved by the agency. Thank you very much for your patience.